So this is from Unit 1. You'll find it in your Unit 1 that there is a topic given in under the section reading, guessing the meaning of words. So there are multiple ways to, be familiar with words. One is to go online and look at the meaning. The other way is to look the meaning in the dictionary. And then there are others uh, similar ways as well. Sometimes when we are reading something, we are unaware of what a word means or a sentence means. So we have multiple choices that we can choose. In this regard, what we can do is we can act like a detective and we can try to look for clues. And we can call these clues contextual clues or word clues, textual and contextual. And these are the words or phrases around unfamiliar words. It can also be called a co-text, right? Co-text is, for example, let's say I don't know the meaning of word unfamiliar, right? There are words or phrases around dash words that can help us understand the meaning of a word. Then I'll read the sentence multiple times and try to come up with the possible meaning of this word, right? These words or phrases are called context clues, right? Context clues. And the text that is around this word is called context. So we try to make meaning of that particular vocabulary item that we do not understand through the text which is given around that particular word. Learning how to use these clues can help us understand the meaning of the word, help us understand the reading. It can improve our vocabulary, and it can also save our time. Now, this is something written in your book. Many learners of English get worried or confused when they come across a difficult word. They want their teacher to translate or explain every word they do not know, or they look up for meaning of every unknown word in the dictionary. Dictionary is a great tool, absolutely, but if you rely too much on a dictionary, then you would not be able to become an efficient and fast reader. For example, let's say you're reading a novel and the vocabulary is too tough for you, and instead of reading, what you're doing is you're focusing on the vocabulary items and time and again you're looking for the meaning. Then there's no pleasure reading, then there's no comprehension of the reading, you're just collecting words' meanings. So you need to infer or guess the meanings of words through context or situation in which it is placed, right? The meaning of many unknown words can be inferred or guessed from the context of perspective of the passage. It is very important to learn how to guess the meaning of unknown words when you read. If you do not, your reading will be slow and difficult, and you'll always be worried about individual words and you won't get the bigger picture, because the goal is to finish the reading, not to understand each and every word. Now, what we can do is we can learn to guess word meanings through context. Now, there is a newspaper report in front of you. The report contains a number of words printed in italics, which you might not know. Read it carefully and see if you can guess the meaning of these words from the context of the passage. And the passage is Bangkok, Jan 24, a police spokesman told reporters that an unidentified man had knifed 6 foreigners in the back here yesterday. The victims were only slightly injured, extra uniformed and plained. Uh, Ost police have been deployed in various residential areas and tourist spots to track down the man. Eyewitnesses said that the assailant was in his early 20s, had fair skin and short hair, and wore glasses. One of the victims said he did not see his assailant but felt a sharp knife thrust into his left side. I hailed a taxi and went to the hospital, he said. So now take a minute and look at the italicized word, and then one by one you can know the meaning of those words with you, and then compare those meanings with the dictionary meaning. So moving further, this is one exercise which is given in your book. There are a list of 15 words from the newspaper report that we have just read, and there are definitions given in column 2. Now, what we have to do is we have to match the columns. For example, spokesman, right? Unidentified, to knife someone, victim, slightly injured, uniform, plain clothes, to deploy, residential, to track down, eyewitnesses, assailant, to thrust, to hail. So, first word. Take a minute and try and guess the meaning of the first word. The meaning is given in column 2. So these are some of the answers. For example, for spokesman, you can say the answer is a person who speaks for or represents others officially. Like in the example, we read that a police spokesman, a person who will speak on the behalf of police, is called a spokesman. Then unidentified is corresponding to the option G, someone whose name we do not know or we are not aware of them. Number 3, to knife someone, the answer is I, to stab with a knife, right? Stabbing with a knife is a phrase widely used in English language. Number 4, victim, who corresponds with the option K, someone who suffers pain, hurt, or death. Similarly, you can finish the rest of the exercise which is available in your book. Now, what I've brought in that is a bit different, in which we'll be reading a text and we'll be behaving like a detective so that we understand the clues in the sentence investigation, and we are going to call it CSR, right? Now, this is a poem which I am going to read for you, and I want you to infer the meaning or guess that who is this person. This poem is about somebody, and you have to guess what are or what is that person, whether it's an animal or a human being. And if it is a human being, what does he do? What does she do? You have to try and guess. Now let's read the poem. I'll tell you about the career that I chose. It definitely keeps me on my toes. I have been practicing since a very young age. Now I travel around and perform on the stage. I'm graceful and pretty, but I'm also real strong. My body is thin and my legs are quite long. I often wear pink and love satin and lace. Watch me twirl, flit and flutter all over the place. So, can you guess? Well, the answer is a ballerina. Ballerina is a dancer in the Western countries, probably mostly where they dances very elegantly. They wear pink and they dance on their toes, not on their full foot, but only on the toes. Anyhow, next we have, this is the poem, the next poem, Hot Shot. Who am I? A lot of kids think that they want to be me. Danger is my best friend and my enemy. When I'm summoned to duty, I'm often alarmed. Still, I help lots of people stay safe and unharmed. I wear a cool hat and a raincoat and boots, which I'd much rather wear than some stuffy old suits. My truck makes loud noises when I drive down the street. It's a lot of fun, but I still take lots of heat. So, what is your best guess? Take a minute, read it again, and tell me your best guess that who is this poem is about. So, the contextual clues and text clues that we have are very clear and evident. I wear a cool hat, raincoat, and boots, which I'd much rather wear than stuffy old suits. Right? Then he says, my truck makes loud noises and he takes a lot of heat. So he's a fireman. Look at his description: a hat, big boots, and clothes like raincoat. Then we have another poem, A Pipe Dream. If it has to do with water, then it has to do with me. I will fix your sink or toilet for a rather hefty fee. I carry a big toolbox and my name is on my chest. That's so that I can advertise that my skills are the best. So if there is hair stuck in your drain or your toilet's overflowing, or if your pipes are frozen or your basement walls are bowing, I am the one to call. And though this sounds a bit insane, I know I've done a good job when it all goes down the drain. So, what is your best guess? Who is this person? Look at the context clues and text clues very clearly that if you need someone to, fix your sink, then you call me. And if your toilet is not working, you call me. So, who is this person? So this is the last point that we are going to do. My career is really taking off, but there's more to it than that. For I can take you far away in 30 minutes flat. You can sit beside the window and look at the ants below. From here, the earth looks all the same no matter where you go. My future is up in the air. My hopes remain sky high. Most people are beneath me because I am quite a lofty guy. Of course, sometimes I have to keep my feet firm on the ground, like when I am home or when somebody's luggage can't be found. So, who is this? Who's this person or thing? So the answer is a pilot. And the words that help us understand are my career is really taking off. I can take you far away. I have to keep my feet firm on the ground. So these are the words and context clues that give you the glimpse of uh, how to guess the meaning and the whole context. So we have tried to cover two things, that how to understand the meaning of words and how to come up with meaning as a collective meaning through reading a text.